I noticed that you said I'll be right back. And it posted as me, like you were saying, for some reason.
It did it again. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Well,
It won't
well,
switch. So
hey, we're live. We're live. So we
yeah.
will say, hey, what's going on, everybody? How you doing out there in YouTube internet land? I have Mr. Brian Holt with me again this week, and we're gonna work on some. Brian and I haven't really had a chance to talk, to be honest. So I don't know what you're gonna work on, Brian. I do have to apologize to those that were expecting Maggie, because Maggie was here last week and she just got overloaded with work. So this is one of those like creative sprints that's supposed to be fun and enjoyable, and it's you want it to be fun and not stressful with work. So we're gonna also, just so you know, this is gonna be a hard stop at 1 hour because I also have work. This is the middle of the day. I'm pretty sure that Brian has work. I know you get a lecture later.
Yeah, I'm lecturing in 2 hours. So
okay. Yeah. So we're gonna hard stop at 4:30 Eastern time. But let's see. We got Philip says Maggie Y. And then we have Steph is in the house. What's going on? And Carissa, how you doing? Those are some new folks you haven't met yet, Brian.
yeah, I've been gone.
Yeah, you've been pretty busy.
Yeah.
But do you want to introduce yourself to folks that haven't seen you yet?
Yeah, I'm Brian. I'm a VFX artist here living in Hollywood, California. Yeah, I've been really busy these last couple of weeks. I try to get on whenever I can, but it's just been absolutely crazy. I know last week you went later at night, and so I was gone already at that point. But a couple weeks ago, I was out of town, took a vacation, and then I don't know what I was doing before that, but I'm back. So
okay,
doing a lot of stuff on the side right now.
Yeah,
mostly YouTube stuff actually. So
well, I know that you got you said that you were on the creative den, and you said that I wasn't gonna like an edit that you're working on, or this week's video.
Yeah, you're not gonna. No one's gonna like this video. No one's gonna like this video. Anybody that likes AI may have issues with this video. I mean, disclaimer: I'm using AI right now. Like, I actually am not anti-AI. I even say it in this video, but yeah, it wasn't a happy video to make.
Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah. Steph says, I'm excited for some Nuka Cola art. Actually, I'm curious, is anybody in the comments section, are you guys working on your own creative projects? I know everybody that I've talked to so far here that I see, super creative people. I know that Philip said that he was going to be working on well, I don't want to say it, but I'm just gonna say it. He's working on a video, a part 2 of the part 1. I'm giving away all your secrets, Philip, and I apologize, but you shouldn't tell me things. So he's working on a video as far as I know, but he's, for those that don't know, although I think most people know at this point, he's a 3D master. He uses Blender, which I know, Brian, you're very familiar with, but you've been gearing more towards the Houdini side of things.
Hey, I posted that poll. I've had like 50 people vote. Blender and Houdini are neck and neck. So
are they really?
Yeah. I'm not anti-Blender either. Okay, I don't mean to sound like that guy. In fact, I tell my students this: don't be platform don't be a theist. Don't be a platform theist. Be platform agnostic. And I tell my students this all the time. If it's Blender, it's Blender. It's fine. I just prefer Houdini, and I've been a Maya guy for 15 years. So, yeah.
So I think with Blender, especially, I mean, it's open source, so it's very accessible for everybody. And so I don't have any experience with Houdini. I've just watched some of the stuff that you've done. How expensive is Houdini versus? I know Maya is pretty up there, but that's an industry standard, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a super professional tool. But as far as how much does Houdini cost for people?
Well,
it's
I mean, Houdini's probably used just as much as Maya now, as any other software. Houdini's up there in price, but what Side Effects, the creators of Houdini, what they have done is they have actually they've created a subscription model that if you're an independent artist and you're making less than a certain threshold, which I believe is still 100,000 a year, you can just pay $300 a year. It's not expensive at all.
Oh,
it's really not that expensive. Seriously, it's like a cup of coffee for 2 months, like every day for 2 months. That's all it is. So it's pretty cool. And I mean, like I said, Blender's open source and it's free and it's continuously in development. Houdini, though, I will say, let's remove Blender from the conversation. Houdini, of all the 3D packages right now, is there. So they're coming out with 20.5. That's why I just released a video on my channel about this. They are consistently innovating and bringing out new tools. Now, granted, because they have so many tools in Houdini, the biggest complaint I get, and this is why my channel exists now, is because it's complicated. There's a lot to learn. But that's why I said it's an industry level tool. It's used in many houses. If you've watched Game of Thrones, if you watched any movie with significant water effects in it, there's a good chance Houdini was used for that. Maya is like $300 a month. So, and that's the indie license.
That's the indie license?
Yeah, the way licenses are usually handled, it's usually handled at the enterprise level per studio. So like Houdini has an enterprise license as well.
Oh, okay.
For the studios, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't played with Blender really much, and Philip has a pretty cool challenge thing going on his Discord. It's making me want to kind of get back into it. They're doing like, model. Each person gets models, and then they. Can I tell people, Philip? I think no, absolutely I can, because you posted up on your. That's the part 2 that you're working on. So he does like every week 1 is everybody gets assigned models, which I've been assigning to them because I'm an independent party. I'm not actually participating, so I'll assign them a list of models with some images, and then they'll all do the individual models, and then they'll do. Everybody gets those models on week 2. Week 2, they end up putting it all into a scene, and it's actually been super inspiring and making me want to get back into Blender, because I made a donut. I mean, I did, of course, the Blender donut to learn how to do everything, but and I played around with some lighting specialties and some different things for clients, like laying out. We were expanding, I think, the 605 out there. I don't remember what highway it was. I think it was the 605. And so I actually made a road, a highway, and I added lanes, and I was trying to like throw some cars down and just make like so that we could change the view and everything for this thing. So, and then I've taken some stuff in for some of my drone 3D models and brought it in, and I haven't really done much since then. So, but it's such a cool tool. Or just 3D modeling is super awesome. I'd like to get better at it, but I mean, we've talked about this at length, so let's see. Steph said, by the way, I'm currently working because it's only 12:30 here, so I can't craft yet, but I posted some artwork made over in Maggie's Discord the other day. Yeah, you've been posting some videos too, Steph. So you're jumping right into that. That's really cool. I got to catch up on your latest video. Maybe I'm 2 videos behind. You're knocking them out. You're cranking them out. So, all right. So what are you working on, by the way?
Me right now, lots of dynamic effects and destroying stuff and taking my frustration out on things. Just kidding. No, I had to do a little bit of a demo the other day. I had somebody that was, I had 2 demos actually. I had a person ask me how to do fire, and I turned it into this whole survivor thing. As a joke, it's like if you're a VFX artist and you don't know how to do fire, you're gonna die. So, some people got it. And then this morning I'm in the process of doing some tutorials on ground destruction, which will fit into the RBD series that I have on my channel, the Houdini series. Because so for at the school, there are art tests in order to get into their portfolio class. So they're going to go through all of these classes, and they have to take an art test to enter into their portfolio class, pretty much just to say that they have actually learned something while at the school, and that they're not wasting their time, nor are they wasting everybody else's time. So, and what they have to do is destroy the ground. And so I'm doing a series of tutorials that's going to help them do that. I mean, they could copy it, what I'm doing per se, but I realized like there's a lack of knowledge in certain students as I'm mentoring them that they don't quite understand what to do. So I'm in the process of doing that today. And then, yeah, I'm just trying to do something new, like little every day. I actually have an idea right now. We could take your Nuka Cola here and the Nuka Cola, and I'm gonna turn it to cinnagraph basically, and do like, I don't know, steam, not steam, but haze coming off of it, maybe even fluid dripping down it. That would be cool. But
The fluid, okay. Like,
I
all
don't know. I
right.
just thought about it. I mean, I would have to model it and everything right now, but I literally just thought about it.
Yeah.
Um,
That's one of the things that I was curious. I thought that would be really cool to, like, some of the stuff that I've been doing uh, with AI. I want to do some model like that. I thought this would be a super cool model, but I really don't like. I can muddle my way through the interface, but like, there's so many things about like, oh, let's kind of expand these matrices, or like, I know how to extrude, but I don't remember how to like scale. Like, if you had like a cylinder and then you wanted to make this bottom fat, like, I don't
mhm.
remember how to do all that. And you know Mentos effect.
The Mentos effects. I could do that. That could be funny. We could end the
Yeah.
world. But technically, wouldn't that actually be like a nuclear bomb now in the post-apocalypse? Mentos with Nuka Cola. Isn't that the level of reaction that should be expected?
Yeah, true. Have you been watching the show, or have you watched the show?
I've seen bits and pieces. Oh, of Fallout.
Yeah, the Fallout,
Uh,
the show that's on Amazon.
I haven't had a chance to actually go and watch. I mean, I played the games, but I haven't had a chance to go and watch. I've just been really, really busy. Honestly, I've
Yeah.
watched like an episode of Survivor, maybe here and there. My wife and I finally went to go watch a movie over the weekend.
What did you see?
So we went to go see Fall Guy,
Oh,
and
any good?
okay, I enjoyed it. It's a popcorn movie. It's not. Don't like go in there and expect like the best story of all time with the best written script. You're not gonna get it. And like my wife hated it, but I actually kind of enjoyed it. And maybe that's because I haven't seen a good I haven't seen a good movie in a long time that I'm willing to just accept any movie as good at this point. Um, but yeah, so I went to go watch that. That's the first
Okay.
that's the first theater experience we've had all year because we just haven't had time to go. And there's not hadn't been very many movies. So
Yeah. Well, we went to go see Lord of the Rings.
I thought about it.
Yeah, it's a real special. Why is that? Hold on a second. Let me just turn on everything. Oh, that's why. Oh, okay. Um, yeah, it was awesome. Honestly, I haven't. So I was telling Maggie that um, we've seen Lord of the Rings, obviously, but it was real special. Lord of the Rings was one of the only movies that my whole family went to see, like, including my dad. My dad would never go to the theater,
Mm.
and so it was especially cool getting to go see that and experience it with Maggie. It's just real nice, and um, I appreciated it. And it was I'm a nerd, so like, as soon as the intros came up and said Lord, the marquee Lord of the Rings, and it has the music, I was like, ah. So I know I'm dumb. I'm done, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, but we have watched I think I'm on episode 4 of Fallout. And
Nice.
if you're a game, or if you enjoyed the game, I think you'll enjoy the show. Maggie never played, so she was just going into it with just a show mentality. And there's a lot. Basically, if you've never played the game, it's it's kind of like getting into season 2, and you're like, I'm missing a whole bunch of stuff. There's lots of little things that they kind of leave to you needing to have played the game and have that history of what certain things are to really appreciate the story, because I'm able to fill in the gaps without realizing that there are gaps.
Yeah.
Um, so she hasn't really enjoyed it, not on a level that I have. Um, I think it's fan service done in the best way possible. So
Yeah, I mean, it's just I'm excited to see it. Actually, I'm probably going to watch it. I probably will enjoy it. And there's been a lot of like shows that have come out that haven't been faithful to the source material as far as games, and I've still
Mhm.
enjoyed them. Like the Halo show. I mean, season 2 is kind of weird. The VFX is really weird in season 2, but I mean the VFX is terrible in season 1 as well. But I'm still enjoying it. Like I tell my wife, it's like just give me a halfway decent story, and I'm a sucker. Like it's just that's really what it boils down to.
Yeah. Well, the thing about yeah, I touched on Halo last week.
You did?
It's such a sore point. Yeah,
Yeah,
because I haven't watched it because I was really excited about it, but at the same time, very cautious because when they were getting the excitement for it, they were talking about like, oh yeah, we hired the actual actress that did the voice for Cortana.
yeah.
Um, and I was like, okay, that's awesome, but they didn't get Master Chief. Now I figured that he's getting older, so they might not want to have him because they might want to have the possibility of having like 7 years or whatever. Um, and if he's older, he might not be around. Yeah, I don't know. I know that's kind of what I figured, but then they took. From what I've seen, the whole big thing is Master Chief takes off his helmet, and he loves to take off his helmet.
Yeah, he's
And
he's not in his helmet most of the show.
yeah, and so right there, I mean, in the game, you never see him without his helmet, and then you only hear him by the voice. One of the other things too is there was a uh, I don't know if I can say the other word, so it's not a bad word, but intercourse. There's like I saw something happen. It's like he's having intercourse, and it was within the first season, and I saw a clip. So and I'm like that's not what this is supposed to be about. What the f is going on here?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. No,
so
yeah.
it's kind of like the newer games, not Infinite, but the ones prior, which were I think 343 Industries. It felt like um uh what's just a military game with a Halo skin. That's what it felt like. So I feel like that's what they did with the show. Was it felt very much like a Halo skin.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, no, here's the thing. If you watch the show, and I'm a diehard Halo fan, I played Halo 2 probably, I don't know. I play Halo 2 like crate, like just put it this way, that consumed my life for so long.
Yeah,
But yeah, and if you come in watching the show expecting like the Halo 2 story, I don't know. When I actually watched these movies, and this is one of the reasons I actually took issue with the Warcraft movie. I thought the Warcraft movie was actually good as well too, but I took issue with the Warcraft movie because it's like anybody who's actually familiar with the franchise, this story is boring. We have already seen it. It's old, and I don't really need a new story. And I do appreciate like, all right, let's do like an alternate story here. Like I want new stories. I will say this: is Halo my favorite show out there? No, I honestly would only watch it if there's nothing else on. And that's what ended up happening. There was nothing else on, so I started watching, and I was like, oh, okay, it's all right. It's not as bad as everyone's making it out to be. I think the VFX is terrible for the most
yeah,
part. And it's already on Paramount Plus, which outside of Survivor, I'm like, I really cannot stand the quality of product that Paramount's currently putting out there. And Paramount's great. Like they put out some of my favorite movies, like Top Gun Maverick and things like that. I mean, you have to remember Transformers. The Transformers franchise comes from Paramount, and although I can make the argument that those are terrible movies, they just look cool. But it's like, it is what it is. But at the same time, too, like if you look at it, and this is go back to the earlier debate I was having, we really aren't getting good stuff. Like there's not good shows or good content coming out like on a daily basis. Not like it was in like 2018, 2019. You could not go a week in the year without having something quality being produced and put out that you wanted to consume, whether that be a movie or a television show or a streaming service show. You know what I mean? And here
Yeah.
we are. It's like you're lucky to get a TV show, let alone a streaming service show right now. It's pretty bad. It actually is pretty bad.
Is it
So
is it it's Paramount that's trying to get bought out, right? Or trying to merge, but they keep running into issues.
no, I mean they've tried to, but Paramount's a lot bigger than a lot of people think they are. It's Viacom, so they're a lot bigger
Oh.
than people think they are. But yeah, it's just I don't know. It just frustrates me as well too. I will say should we hold writers and directors to higher standards? Absolutely, I absolutely agree because we always have. And when you walk into a movie theater and Steven Spielberg is behind, his name is on a movie, you expect greatness. And when it doesn't rise to that occasion, you don't consider it a good film, right? And how many times have we done that? Lost World, right?
Yeah.
After watching Jurassic Park, amazing. We came back and watched Lost World, and it was like, oh, it's cool dinosaurs, but it's not as good. And we've seen this time and time again. Whenever you put a name on it. Here's a great example: Christopher Nolan. You walk into a movie theater expecting to be wowed by Christopher Nolan, right? By the story. So when you walk in and like Tenet, which is arguably not that bad of a movie, it really isn't that bad of a movie. Same thing I could say for a few of his other ones, but people ragged on it because it didn't rise to the level of, let's say, The Dark Knight. And this is why you can't compare apples to oranges in the industry, because every movie exists in its own right. So go back to the Halo. It's like, all right, I'm going to give them their due credit for where it is. They tried something. It's okay. It's not terrible. And to sit there and rag on the art. Now, there are other shows out there right now that you can rag up, down, left, and right, and you should, because you should be holding them to a higher standard, because they're taking an intellectual property that has a fan base, and they're kind of like spit in your face. So, and yeah, don't get me started on that, on like other properties that I just cannot stand that they exist right now. But yeah. All this to say, I am excited to go see Fallout.
Yeah, it's
or go see, or rather see it. Like, one of these days I'll put it up on the TV and watch. But
yeah, it's good. I've been getting into it. Let me check in over here. Oh, one of the things I should probably mention that I didn't was that just kind of what I'm doing here. So I made some images on with Stable Diffusion, and I am taking. Let me see here. You know what? Let me just do this. I think this will probably be the easiest way. So I'm taking this because I like the background.
Nice.
And then I'm taking this guy, and I remove the white, and I have to take out the some of the fins, because in the game it's actually let me see. There's only 3 fins, which would be, this is the original, or let me see, I got a white background. So this is from the game. So this is just a pull from the game. So you have, it's flat here, you get 3 fins. So I'm basically trying to do this. Recreating this in Stable Diffusion is very difficult. But that's fine, because the whole point is I just want to get like certain elements and then, pull them together. So I got, like I said, I mean, this was probably the one that I liked the most out of the 50 that I made. So I was removing this stuff while we were talking. And then I removed the other bottle from the background. Just for the expediency, I used generative fill quite a bit, because you and I were talking. So rather than going through the manual process of clone stamping and whatnot, I just took 30 seconds to do the edits. And so now I'm playing with the lighting. I need to touch base, see who said what here. Okay. I've been trying. So Steph says, I've been trying to do 1 book related and 1 game related video a week. Yeah, she's been busy. So if you guys are interested in games or books, go over to My Kind of Stuff. I don't remember what your tagline is, but I know that it's like books and games, so it's pretty good. I think you just started your channel too, so as far as I know. So let's see here. Steph is awesome, so go check her out. And I think it would be cool if it looked like it just crash landed, so it like buried in dirt and tilted on its side slightly. Were you talking about Nuka Cola bottle? I guess this was back I think when Brian was talking about doing the 3D thing. Yeah, and then she said, "Don't get me started on the Halo show." And then, what do you guys think about The Witcher and Liam replacing Henry? Oh, I haven't been on top of that really. I mean, there's the whole hatred of like, why'd they get rid of Henry? And I think Henry was awesome in the role. I think he embodied a lot of it because he's a geek and a nerd and really appreciated the lore. Um, I thought that they did a pretty damn good job with what, for the most part, with season one specifically, of kind of keeping to the lore. I don't know all the details behind, why he was cut. There's always talk that people have, but I mean, I'm not behind closed doors. So I haven't looked at any of the stuff if it's out there yet of Liam's Witcher. One of the things that I kind of wish that they did was, instead of recasting, they had other Witchers. And so like maybe Geralt has to leave or something, or he's not dead, but like he's got to leave, and he puts his buddy as like, hey, I need you to watch Siri. Now I know that's not canon, but it's a show. So like the whole idea is that it doesn't have to flow exactly to the games or the books. And so I thought that that would have been a better way and less impact for the hatred. What do you think, Brian?
No, I'm actually in agreement with you. I just think I just want to know what the decision was. Just from a PR standpoint, they knew it couldn't have been a good idea. So there had to be a reason for them to do that, right? So I don't know. Like when I saw the news, I kind of just shrugged. And I love The Witcher too. And I thought Henry Cavill did a great job playing The Witcher, right? Like playing Geralt. And I was just like, I thought the casting was great, up and down. So I don't know. The show had so much potential, and now it really just an afterthought in my brain now. And that's really on them. So like I said, just like I watched the Halo movie, the Halo shows series,
Mm-hmm.
I probably will give it a shot, but it's just I have to get Netflix first. I don't have Netflix right now. I'm waiting for Stranger Things season, the next season of Stranger Things, the last season, to come out before I get it.
Oh yeah, I haven't. I think we're on season 3 of Stranger Things. We haven't kept up with it because that was about when we got rid of Netflix, and we keep jumping back onto Netflix for 5 months or whatever. We'll wait for a while and then just kind of like binge the shows that we want. So
Yeah, and that makes sense. That's what. Yeah,
it's about all you can do these days, because everything's so bloody expensive.
right. Right. Let's see here.
So let me see. Oh yeah, my bottle. Yes. Oh, you're talking about mine where it's like landed in. That could be something that I could try out later, Steph. And then imagine being the person who made that terrible replacement choice. Liam could never replace him. Is that what you're saying? I think that's what you might be saying. But yeah, and I don't think that's really fair to Liam either. I mean, like God, he just, like, no matter how good he does, everybody's going to compare him. So it's kind of a bummer, but I'm not the guy in charge, I guess. Why is that there? Oh, I see. That's okay. Let's do this. I need to make a fresh copy.
Can you hear that?
No, I can't hear anything.
Good. So there's crazy stuff going on outside my apartment right now, and it's pretty hot here in LA. So, well, today it's not that hot, but it's been hot, and so I'm not like pining to open the window.
What are you at?
We got to in my area, we got to 90 degrees last couple of weeks, or last couple of days. Today is pretty good.
Oh, wow. Yeah, 90 degrees? Yeah, we're over 90, which doesn't happen
pretty often.
Very often. It definitely does happen, but we have a heat wave of 3 days being at like the mid 90s, very humid. So we got our air air conditioner going. We don't have central air. Very few houses out here have central air, because they're just so old.
Yeah.
But yeah, what am I trying to do here? Oh, that's what I'm trying to do. Yeah, dummy. Let me try this. This gets harder when you're actually talking. You know, like. What Steph say? Yeah, he doesn't have a Witcher vibe to him. I'm a vibes kind of person. He doesn't fit in serious roles for me. Um, yeah. I mean, honestly, I haven't. I don't think I've seen him in anything. Um, maybe one thing back in the day. I don't even remember what it was, but he was younger, so I don't know. Oh, and then Philip says, "Same Steph. I would replace Siri actress instead. For some reason, I'm not a fan of her acting like at all."
Actually, I agree with that. I don't like Siri at all. I did not like the actress from the get-go. I will say this though. I remember when they initially casted Henry Cavill, the only people that were excited for him to play the role were people that knew how much of a video game nerd he actually is. Outside of that, people were questioning that casting because they thought they everyone was like. I remember the couple articles I read early in the development cycle was like it should be an older person. Like people wanted I forgot there were some names or um like just an older person that already has naturally gray hair. I remember saying, we're like, oh, this should be Brad Pitt or things like
Oh
that.
my god.
That was stupid. But like, no, I could see where the people are coming from, but it made complete sense. Like you could just age him up, which they did, and it looked amazing. So
Well, I think it's funny too. You have people that, it's like, oh, how could what was his name? Twilight. He ended up being Batman.
oh, Robert Pattinson.
Robin Pattinson. He did a phenomenal job.
Oh my gosh, he was
And-
amazing as Batman.
yeah, and you have so many people that say like, and I was one of them. I was like, really? He's going to be Batman? But I think I've been proven wrong enough times
Exactly.
to give people the benefit of the doubt and being like, okay, I will say one of the first guys that I saw, and I'm like, yeah, absolutely, 100%, that's him, was Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark. He looked like Tony Stark when they showed that cover of him. I was like, oh my god, they got Tony, which
Well,
didn't really take a lot of work. I mean, he had pretty much the same build and whatnot, but it was like the beard and stuff. But it's funny because give someone who has gray hair naturally the position of Geralt. I mean, hair is the easiest thing,
yeah.
Um, but yeah. Steph says, I think my original issue with Henry is too pretty. Oh, he wasn't rough and rugged looking enough for me, but they did a good job making him fix really well. Yeah. I think the only thing I saw him in was the Tudors up until that point, really. Maybe he was in something else. Oh no, he had been Superman, right? So I loved him as Superman, honestly. His first Man of Steel, I really enjoyed. I know that a lot of people didn't, and that's okay, but I really enjoyed that movie. I know that there was a
You're
lot of
wrong.
like, shut up, I'm gonna kick you off. Um, I know that it's not there's too much death and destruction and like, them blowing through buildings and stuff, but I like the cinematography of it. And I liked him. I liked his his portrayal of Superman.
No, I agree with you. They're all wrong. All the people that disagreed with him as Superman are wrong.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you were saying that I was wrong.
No, you're right.
Oh,
The issues with that movie are not Henry Cavill. Anybody that tries to tell you Henry Cavill is a bad Superman does not know what they're talking about.
yeah, he lived that role. Like he just like he jacked up like crazy. He was already fit, like it, um, but he got super jacked for it because he's Superman. It's like Hemsworth being Thor. He had to be a god, so he had to be bigger than a
Yeah.
regular dude, and he's already a big dude. What am I trying to do here? I need to get rid of that. He was made to be Superman, she says. Yeah, I agree. So does my mom. I went I went to see that in theaters, and I'll just say that my mom was a fan. when she saw him, she's like, "Oh boy, I wasn't with your father." That's what she told me.
I was a fan. I'm saying there were some interesting thoughts at moments watching that movie in theater. We will not say them out loud.
No, you can't say them.
We're at risk of demonetizing your channel.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Oh, that's there. Interesting. Okay, I'll leave it alone for now. This is a tough thing when you start compositing, especially if you get distracted by conversation, is finding where certain layers are. And also, I got too many layers, but I was going to show some people some stuff, but there's only an hour in this whole thing, so. What else we got? He is not my taste at all. I'm just saying that role was made for him. We need my mom on the stream. Philip says, no escaping now, Steph. I'd love to have my mom on the stream. Philip, unfortunately, she left us several years ago. By left us, I mean left this, parted this wonderful earth. How do they say? Shed the mortal coil. He passed away years ago. But yeah, she was awesome. She was I'm in the embodiment of her in a lot of ways. That encouragement thing that you were teasing me about in your Discord. That's her. That's just me being encouraging. That's her. Like, she was the most Italian person you could see, where like I could give her this rubber band and she'd be like, that's the best rubber band I've ever seen in my life. And she'd frame it. And like, conversely, my dad was more pragmatic and more of a dad, a traditional dad. So yeah, I don't feel like I've actually done an awful lot on this. I mean, I have, but I got 20 minutes left. Trying to figure out one of the things too is the text on this. I was going to try to maybe fix it. This is the closest that I could. This is the closest that I could get for the font, which actually is not too bad. Like the Nuka is definitely right, but the cola would take quite a bit of playing because they have the Coca-Cola, like kind of the way that it flows. So, yeah, so I won't be able to get to that, but nah, no worries, Philip. He says, "Oh," and then Steph says, "Oh, that's so sweet. Love the support." Yeah, man, always. And I mean, Ryan gets it too. He's a professor, teacher. Are you technically a professor or what? Well, how's that work?
Yeah, I go by professor, but they just call us instructors.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, all the students just call us professors. You will cover the Mentos explosion. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. I'm currently coding said Mentos explosion. So.
Oh, nice. So what's involved with coding that?
Well, when I say coding, I mean I'm setting up the Mentos explosion using code.
Oh, it kind of like scripts, or?
Yeah, I can show you.
Okay.
Once I get this percent. Wait.
He says, in Denmark, we use names, no titles. What's that mean?
So, in Denmark, we use names, no titles. I have no idea. Yeah, so I'm writing this out basically. So I have the bottle. I just model the bottle really quickly. Just did a line. And then I made the bottle around the line. And now what I'm doing is I'm creating where I'm going to have it emitting from the bottle. Well, I'm going to do haze first, like little condensation, fog, dry ice fog coming off of it. And then we'll go from there. And then up maybe even have like fizz coming out.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. So you just threw that bottle together while we've been talking, yeah?
About 5 minutes. Yeah, I started
Yeah.
about 5 minutes ago. Yeah.
That's one of the things I want to do in this with like the live stream stuff is to, we have a lot of new people that try to do some creative stuff and they bite off more than they can chew. I mean, we all do
Yeah.
creatively, but having that like, oh, I could do that in an hour. And so um like just seeing how much I'm getting done in an hour. Now, if I had my brain power 100% on this and not having a conversation, I could probably, well, I definitely would have been a lot further than I am. But just kind of setting that expectation for folks because you see people, especially these like uh, on a video when people like cut stuff out and it's just like, oh yeah, I did it, and it's like they only took 5 minutes. Um,
Yeah.
Having those realistic expectations, and that's with like you did that with in a very short period of time, but with all your years of experience. So
Right. Um. Yeah. Exactly. With my years of experience and let's see if this actually works. Let's do this one. Is that right?
he says when you approach professor or teacher, you use their names. Oh, okay.
Oh, that makes
That's what he
sense.
meant. Yeah, yeah.
That makes complete sense, actually.
So, Philip, do you mean like you would say just their name? Like, yo, what's going on, Steve? Or would you say Professor Steve, or Mr. So and so? Because, I mean, it's pretty traditional, especially in high school, to say, Mr. Johnson versus, Professor Johnson. Yeah, one of the cool things that I like about like 3D modeling, which, like I said, I haven't really done much at all. But you can make the model and then say, oh, you know what? I want to flip this thing. And so like with Photoshop, I've made I've made the thing, but it's a little harder to like, afterwards I can't be like, oh, I just want to go around the back and, illuminate it differently or slap a label on this side versus the other side. Not that it's just slapping labels, but you know what I mean. There's a lot more utility to it. So that actually doesn't have.
You can take the screen back, by the way. I think I'm still up.
Yeah, you are. Okay.
I could build you an app, but I could not make that 3D bottle. I'm impressed. Yeah, no, I keep in mind I have 15 years of experience, but this is why I have a channel, right? To do that, to give you guys insights on what one I do in the industry, but also so that people could get started in this industry. So
Yeah, what kind of app would you make for that, Steph? Um, there's Chris. I was wondering where you were at. What kind of apps do you make, and how would you like? What kind of thing would you do for what you're talking about for the 3D side of stuff? Let's see. Any apps to share, Steph? Philip says, and then Chris says, my students are 6 and they're obsessed with knowing my first name. I remember that. I made a mistake and told my kids 1 year, and one of them has not forgot. So she comes up to me and goes, "Hi, Carissa." Oh, yeah, no worries. You've just been listening and fiddling around. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's no worries at all.
that's what I've been doing.
Yeah. All right. So this guy, I'm gonna just throw this up here. Oh, we got to throw that up above the heel layer. Yeah. So we got 15 minutes. I also got family in town, so I've actually been blessed with lots of family coming to visit. Have like uncles, my uncle and aunt, are in town, so we're gonna go have dinner with them and my cousin and his family. And my over this past weekend, I had my brother and his family from California. They came out from LA. And they brought the beautiful weather with them. I mean, like the weekend in Boston was stupidly gorgeous. It was like 73 and sunny. And we haven't had bad weather, even kind of, but it cooled down by like 10 degrees. So it was awesome to walk around in Boston. So I want to fix this here. She says, not for 3D stuff, just an app that works with SharePoint data. Okay. Is that something, Steph, that like you do for like a side gig, or is that like your main business, or what? Is that something that you want to promote? I'd be okay with you promoting if you want to. You're awesome enough to do that. I would just want royalties. Let's see, Nuka. Do this like that. Again, this is not going to get done. Whoops! But I just kind of want to get close. Maybe make. Oh, you know what I want? I just do this. Boop. Just grab that color. It's kind of like a grayish color. Cool. There we go. That's a little bit better. You don't have any public apps, just stuff for work. Gotcha. Okay. Well, we're coming down to like 10 minutes here. So, one of the interesting things. I could take the original and just slap that label on here, but I really don't want to do that. So let me play with the lighting because I want to get this to a point where it's quote unquote done within an hour. The label's definitely not going to be right, but I'll play with some lighting. I thought about having some background music for these streams. I've seen a couple people do that where it's just kind of like cafe music, but that could be kind of irritating to some people. I don't know. I'm technically a pharmacy technician. I've been taking courses and fiddling around with coding, so work has been taking advantage of it and having me build things to make our life easier. Hey, to be honest, in my last job, work let me do stuff that was I saw a challenge or something. They'd say, oh, we wish we could do this, or we outsource for that. Like the audio recording is a perfect example. I did some celebrity recordings and we got the contract because the contract before that they had said, hey, we need to do this thing for a client. And I said, well, how much is it for voice narration? Because they needed a script and then doing a voice narration. And they said, oh yeah, it's, I don't know, $3,000 for voice narration. And I'm like, it's not that hard. You just have a microphone. And I actually built a sound baffle out of wood and some, cheap foam. And I did all the voice narration. All of a sudden we were able to pull in the voice narrating in-house. And so we got the $3,000 instead of having to have that be just a bill. And then so that kind of like that ran down the that kept snowballing into all these other sorts of stuff. So what's cool is I ended up being a senior creative coordinator for that, which was kind of like being a creative director. So keep doing what you're doing, because if they're letting you do stuff, like obviously they benefit, but that's Like that's so cool that they let you kind of like flex what you want to work on. So, and then let's see. I love chill hip hop music or chill hop music. Nice. Check out. Oh, they're having a conversation about music. Oh, best coding courses and teacher. Nice. Cool. All right. No, dude, you don't have to apologize. That's the whole point. Having some people jump on here and have conversations while we're creating or just hanging out.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, I'm actually curious what this would look like with like a gradient map on it. I'm just gonna play around right now because we got actually that's kind of chill. That's kind of fun. Having it be black and white. Hmm. Ooh, that's actually kind of cool. So if I did multiply, but that actually adds like a dark grungy look to it. Oh, you know what? What if I did this? That might be nice. Almost adds a little bit more cinemascope to it. Actually, that's not too bad. Oops. They're also paying for the courses, so I guess I owe them a little. Oh yeah. Hey, like, and if they're paying for your time to do the development of that stuff too, like it's on the job training almost, even though that's not what you're you were actually hired for. You're still there, yeah, Brian?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Okay, yeah, just making sure. I couldn't hear anything. Like I couldn't
Oh,
hear
I'm
any
just being real
background
quiet
music.
because you're having a conversation, so I didn't want to jump in. But
Yeah,
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 I'm
no.
sorry.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, just I'll have something to show you before we finish here.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I kind of feel bad because I didn't get this exactly where I wanted it to be, but
yeah.
that's it's part of the game. But let's do this. So I'm not sure what next week's theme is going to be. If anybody in the chat has an interest of theme, I'm thinking about doing like 2-week themes. So I have I don't think I want to do it next week though. I have an idea for like the Disney ducks, like Gizmo Duck, Darkwing Duck. We got this really cool, fun series of not there. Hold on, I'll find them. Gizmo Duck. You remember Gizmo Duck?
No, I'm actually trying to figure out what that is.
Oh, hold on a sec. I have. So this is Gizmo Duck. He was from Darkwing Duck, and he wasn't primarily from Darkwing Duck, but he
Oh, is
was.
this what you posted?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the original from the cartoon, and he was a lot of fun. What was his like? Blathering Blatherskite, I think was his. Like when he would say that, he's just a dude walking around, and then when he would say that, like the his armor would like jump onto him essentially,
Mm-hmm.
and so he'd be Gizmo Duck, and so he was a superhero, and so I've been having a ton of fun with making different. Like this one actually is pretty legit. Some like new version of Gizmo Duck. Some of them are a little bit more wacky, you know. Um, I got some cool dark and broody ones, but anyway, so like I don't necessarily want to do um, Gizmo Duck next week, but I'm curious if anybody else has any thoughts of themes because I have some thoughts on themes, but if anybody else is like, oh man, I really want to watch, a certain someone is doing a themed thing with Watch Dogs, which I have not played. And with the color liquid, they are also paying for the courses. Yeah, we already said that. And with the color liquid, I'm excited for the ducks. They looked awesome. Oh, thanks. And with the color liquid, oh, you're talking about the liquid for my bottle here. I think you are, Philip. I have a buddy of mine that just joined the Creative Den. He's an old gamer friend of mine that I used to play StarCraft 2 with, co-op. I'm a huge StarCraft fan. So maybe I'll do something along that route. I don't know. Anybody else play StarCraft here?
I did way back in the day.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you play 2 or did you just play 1?
I played by myself that game. Yeah.
Yeah, the co-op. I mean, not that, just the campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't start playing the I played campaign forever, but just because that's, I loved it. I love RTS. I fell in love with RTS forever ago. And then I found co-op with my buddy because we were doing PvP and neither one of us are PvP guys.
Mm-hmm.
And so you just like, you have special commanders that are based off of the characters in the game. And so like Raynor would be a commander and he'd have special abilities, but he's not actually in it. It's like his crew. Some have hero units like Alarak has a hero unit where like he's the main hero guy, but he also has base, and like they did such good job with theming every commander to have like different abilities. And anyway, it was awesome. And so I went down a very bad rabbit hole. I went really down. I went far down. So I got off it because I was wasting too much time on it. So, oh, that's okay. That's why that's the back. Yeah. Okay. Black and white image. Oh, my husband is a huge StarCraft fan, but I never got into it. I love it. I love it. Love it. I really love it. There we go. Let's do that just a little bit. Okay, popping that out a little bit. Okay, let me bring this. This is what I have to at least do. Is curves. There we go. Brighten that up a little bit, and that's where I'm going to end it. Even though it's not done, I really wish that I could have done more. It's not bad, but it's not. The biggest thing for me is I really wanted to play around with. I was thinking about changing the liquid on the inside. I don't know what the color would have been, because this isn't Nuka Cola Quantum. It's just regular Nuka Cola. I wanted to do something with this button and kind of fix what I'm thinking of as a button, even though it's not part of the original. I just kind of like the way that it looked. I was going to like maybe make it brighter, like illuminate it. But yeah, that's all right. Did you want to take control? Do you have something to show us?
I do. I'm seeing if it actually is working first. 0.5. I think I got it.
Oh, yeah, Steph. I played that. And my buddy that just joined the Creative Den, he actually, because I stopped playing, he jumped over to Command and Conquer. Which I don't know if did they ever do like a remaster for that, because at this point I would think that would be pretty dated as far as the graphics. You can take the controls whenever you want.
Oh, okay. Cool. I didn't know if you wanted me to. Let me jump in. There you go. Sorry, I have it on the same screen. I'm trying to get this. I'm pretty much have it. I'm just increasing the quality of it right now. Let's go ahead and drop this back down to 3, 1. Okay. And I found a new bug while I was doing this, but that's cool. All right, see what this looks like. And there we go. I'm still a work in progress, but I've got the haze working on the bottle.
Oh my god.
Well, let me move this off screen. There you go.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, it's still work in progress, but
Oh yeah, no, that's pretty cool. So are you gonna turn that into? So is this gonna be the Mentos effect, and is it gonna explode or?
I could do that. But this is just like it's chilled.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I'll have a wispy version of it already. I'm refining the source of it right now. But then yeah, I could definitely do an explosion effect. That would be pretty cool. I'm gonna have to figure that out. Maybe we even shatter the bottle. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have so many videos where you show that kind of explosive generation.
Yeah. Yeah, bottle's definitely going Super Saiyan right now. I have to increase the resolution of it, but once I increase the resolution, I can no longer show this on stream. It's a wait and see game. So I have to once I increase the resolution, I have to wait. So I kind of already know what this looks like when I increase the resolution, so I know what I'm looking for. Unfortunately, I don't have time to really explain that, but yeah, I mean so if I just lower this to 1, and then let's go and do this to 1, and then we'll do viscosity to 0.1. I'll probably have a better look here. Maybe not. But anyways, but yeah, I'm just playing with it right now just to see what I get. Oh, I know what I did wrong. Let's do this. And that should give us back to a similar effect that I had before. There you go. So now it's going up. Like I said, it's still low resolution, but now you have that. And what I can do is play with the volume a little bit. So we'll say that's the wrong one. Volume up. And then I can do a let me see if I have it here. As time goes on, we can do a vector 4 to flow, vector 4 to vector. It's the wrong one. Vector 4 to whatever. We're already past the 1 hour mark, and I could sit here for like 2 hours doing this.
Yeah.
But basically, I can use time and say, hey, as these are just born, don't be so thick. But this is what it looks like right now. Like I said, it's too thick.
Yeah.
And I'll just go and refine it.
Yeah, no, that looks cool though. You're even streaming. It's impressive that your computer's able to render that out.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, to really, you want to see something really, really cool? I think I linked it on the Discord. If not, I have it on one of my old other Discords. I have a bunch of Discords that I just link stuff to. But this right here, which is fire, I did this as a demo in 10 minutes, and it rendered in less than a minute. All the frames rendered in less than a minute.
Oh wow, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
GPU,
crazy.
man. The days have come, and it looks so good. So, but yeah, no, I think what we'll do is we'll blow up that bottle. That'll be fun. That'll be a fun little video.
Yeah. I look forward to your whatever video or the AI thing that you said I would hate, but I mean, I'm not super. I'm not pro. I know it sounds weird to say, but I'm not like pro AI. I'm just not scared of AI. So like, it's just for me, just a tool that I use. But it's like I use a power drill when I'm making when I'm making when I'm doing woodworking, but I also have like the old hand crank augers, so like I'm all over the place,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, I'm not afraid of AI either. And like I said, I talk about it in the video. I am absolutely against though the promotion of AI replacing artists. So
Yeah.
and I talk briefly about it. The video's up already. So it's been I'm actually curious to see how it's doing. Dude, the video I posted 2 days ago though hit the recommended feed on YouTube and it's gotten like it organically exploded.
Oh damn.
It went like I've got over 108 likes. It's 4,000 views. Oh, 3,500 views, and it's still getting views. It's on the recommended feed. So
That's
I thought it
awesome.
was really cool. Yeah, we'll see if this one hits it. It's a little trendy, so we'll see what happens. But
yeah, that's keep me updated. You've had some pretty explosive growth on your channel, so
yeah.
Oh, hey Daniel, we're just about finished up here. Yo, what's up? Daniel,
what's up?
Yeah, Daniel joined up, but yeah. So I'm gonna jump on next week. So for the Create with Me, those are weekly, and then we'll probably jump back to the standard time, just because that's a little bit easier. That's at least in the evening. So I know that my UK brethren can't really jump on at that point because y'all are sleeping. So, but I'm flexible, so we'll try to do these every once in a while too, so that you guys can join on. Especially because I feel bad that Daniel just got on and we're leaving. Sorry, Daniel, it's not you, it's me. So, so yeah, did you want to throw out your socials, Brian, for those that haven't been here? You want to tell people where?
Yeah. I could put it in the chat here in just a second, but yeah, primarily I'm currently on YouTube, guys. That's where all my content is. I do use Twitter or X and Instagram, but really I am on YouTube now. I'm in the process of expanding my offering. I'll have a Discord soon as well. That's primarily, I'm not going to really use it as community building just yet. I mean, the idea is to build a community, but the idea is to be able to give folks access to assets and stuff that I do. And then on top of that as well, I also am working on possibly turning Monday mornings into a visual effects live stream. But we'll see. That's still in the works. We'll see if I can lock that schedule down. If I can lock that schedule down going forward, I may have a Monday morning live stream where we do 3D or visual effects, maybe even Blender. I got to do the donut first, though.
I don't think it would hurt just having a couple Blender things for the newbies and those of us who don't have access. But I think you're getting some good traction with your Houdini stuff, so.
Yeah, I was nervous at first making the pivot from a After Effects and post-production boutique, basically, to going into my roots, which is just visual effects. And I'm starting to see traction, so I'm not too worried about it. Yeah.
Well, all right. Yes, Philip, I will definitely keep you updated if it's UK friendly for time frame. And okay, yeah, Daniel says that he was here, just couldn't type in the keyboard. So, all right. Well, we'll see you next Wednesday at some point at some time, which I will mention on YouTube. Create the community posts, and then also in my Discord. So
yeah.
And then that link that was just sent from me was actually from Brian.
I don't know why it's doing
I don't know why it does that, because you're logged in as you. So
I could just do it from here. I'll just do it from here, but I probably won't be able to link in the chat just by default.
No, that's fine. It's fine, because you're just going to link what I would. If you gave me that link, I would just copy and paste it anyway. So not a big Phillips is imposter. All right, you want to throw out your outro? It's not a tagline, but sure.
Absolutely, guys. Always be creating.
All right. Until next time, be good to each other.